So I got the idea of making this video 3 minutes ago when I was trolling my brother online. We've got this inside joke. It's not even a joke. He really dislikes anime covers in another language, especially because some lyrics are translated wrong, and because we both understand Japanese, we pick these things up. And it's troublesome, and especially since we are a Spanish family, I sent him a Latin American cover.
Fue tanto el daño.
And he's just, I don't know, he's a cringy guy like that. He just, he doesn't like it. But I quite like this cover, so I sent it to him, knowing he would get annoyed, but nonetheless because I did like it. And so we had a bit of a stupid back and forth where, well, there was too many things to break down, so I'm not going to. But the thing I wanted to speak about in this video was actually Obito and his backstory. This song is a masterpiece. I'm talking about ending 28 of Naruto Shippuden. So as I was indulging in these cinematics a little bit, I picked up a few things that I thought were very sad and very good to learn from Obito, and lately I've been doing some anime breakdowns, so I thought I'd speak about it. Firstly, this is one of my favorite songs, and secondly, Obito is one of my favorite characters. The amount of pain and suffering he goes through and solitude is one that a lot of us may traverse through in our own life in a way that's not so dramatic as his. If you're familiar with my content at all, you know that I like self-improvement a lot, productivity, and I have hobbies, martial arts, anime and all this stuff. And I think that balancing things out is fine. I'm not like the type of person that would say, don't do gaming, don't watch anime, don't do this, do that, and do only work, right? That really goes against my principle and what purpose means to me. Anyway, I wanted to talk specifically about this group of people that have this type of mentality. The problem with this type of stuff, as well as, things like going to the gym every day, waking up at this hour, shutting the world out and locking in and disappearing from the world. There's a lot of problems with all of these things. And as I saw Obito, I couldn't help but see a reflection of this group of people, whom I almost fell into the category of. A bit of spoiler, of course, about Obito. Things don't go too well for him. He ends up regretting everything he's done. He almost gets to the goal that he wishes to get to. Arguably, he could have actually gotten there if he didn't feel deep down in his core that it wasn't the thing that he really wanted. Or at least the means that he got there by weren't correct. As I saw his pain, melancholy and sorrow, I thought maybe this video, if it reaches the right person, can help them from suffering the same outcome, the same destiny. I am very much so against the traditional self-improvement sphere that has been created. I started self-improvement on my own. I developed on my own, and eventually I found out about self-improvement online, about how people were doing it, and I implemented a few things that I learned. I didn't really know much about the cold showers and all this stuff. I sought more knowledge, and I found more knowledge. I remember the first YouTuber that I saw was Hamza. At the time he was a really nice guy. I don't really know what he's up to now. I started to watch him halfway through 2022. In May time actually. And I stopped watching him around the end of the summer because I had my own things now, and I thought, okay, now I need to work on the things I need to work on. I no longer need to seek out more knowledge and help, right? I believe you should take the same approach. If you consume my content, for example, take things in and use them and take action. And when you feel like you've dominated that and you want some more, feel free to seek for some more. But I don't want to be here feeding you content and content and content, manipulating really how you feel so that you have a great view of me, but you're not actually taking any action. I don't want to benefit myself, I want to benefit others. I believe that my reward will come from my God because I'm a religious man, and if I carry myself neatly and I have a good departure from this world, I will have the greatest of recompenses, which is eternal, which is heaven. Anyway, within self-improvement as well as outside, the biggest problem nowadays with men, with the whole world always, but with men right now, is solitude. A lot of people are lonely. They don't have great relationships, friendships, if any. They don't really do anything. They don't belong to a club, a sport, right? They don't do any social activities. Of course, this is a big problem. One that people are not addressing enough. And people believe that the correct course of actions is to focus on the grind. A lot of people get in front of a camera, perhaps I do at times too, most likely, and utter things that they have no knowledge of. They start to preach with real conviction, which makes them more trustworthy to the person listening, right? Normal psychology. If the person is really confident in the things that they say, they will make you think that they are right? But this type of character that does this are actually the ones suffering. A lot of us like to show a good life and display a good appearance when in fact we are hurting inside. we are lonely, suffering, and we invite others to the same realm as us so that they may understand us. I'm suffering, but this is the correct thing to do. Come do it with me. But no, if somebody showed them that there were other possibilities, other outcomes in which you will still be successful if you define success properly, and you would have along the way always joy, always love, you would generate it. Look, times don't have to be easy. They shouldn't be. We need challenges. We need difficulties in order to grow. If we don't have them, we need to give them to ourselves. But self-tormenting is not the same as challenging, right? As putting yourself out of your comfort zone. One offers you despair, offers you craziness, and yeah, you will make some progress, but perhaps not in the thing that you want to do. The other one, you will be pushing and controlling yourself out of your comfort zone. You will be growing, developing in a skill that you've challenged yourself with because you wanted to do it, you wanted to develop it. As it stands, a lot of us talk about success as money. But when anyone is truly asked, and they get asked as if it was a little kid, why and why and why, we will realize that money isn't what we want. What we want, deep down, is the feeling of love. We want the feeling of love, the feeling of importance. Now, how we get this comes in very different forms and shapes, but what I talk about a lot is self-actualization. Self-actualization would be to do something that makes you feel fulfilled, your purpose. A lot of us live in a life where we think that the purpose, the end goal would be to get rich, but this is not what we want. We don't really care about this. We think about, oh, that way I'll be able to get more money, more cars, more clothes, whatever. We don't care about that. We don't care. Or we see other people doing it, and maybe it's more fun than our current life. But if you had a life that you enjoyed even a tiny little bit, and if you hid it to respecting your old soul a little bit more, instead of giving yourself up to materialism, you would realize and say with me, we don't care. We don't give a f***. So now, I stand here in front of you. I've beat around the bush because I wanted to build up the foundation strong before I gave the final statement. In case you hadn't realized, I didn't actually give it. Obito went to the end of the road alone. He was grinding. He was doing all of this work. He was locked in, right? He was sacrificing everything for the sake of his purpose. He didn't care about relationships. He didn't care about nothing. He got to the end and he fought against Naruto. Naruto, who had been along the way, hurt a lot because he cared about other people. Obito was hurting, but he put walls up so that no one else could hurt him any longer. Because every time somebody was in his life, if they got hurt or wounded because it's a cruel world, then it would affect him. So he built walls to protect himself in a cowardly fashion. But that's more of an analogy dissection from my perspective. Either case, Naruto, who did have his walls down, who suffered from his friend that left the village, he almost had a cardiac arrest, who suffered from different friends almost dying, helping him in his endeavors, his sensei dying, his friends, whatever. When the moment of truth came, he was not fighting alone. The fact that he had other people alongside him is what helped him not only win, but have a smile on his face. Look at how sad Obito was. We don't want to turn out like that. And Obito has a good heart, and I believe that you have a good heart too. If you lock in, if you do all of these things, you will not find the outcome that you're looking for. I'm sorry to say it, but don't let this realization bring you down. Let this be a hopeful message for you to realize, oh, I don't need to lock in and shut out the world. I don't need to say goodbye to friends. Or what, they drag me down? But what does a leader do? They lead. They lead by example. Show them to better things. Present them to something that you like, that has brought you hope, right? Become a more hopeful person. Become a more radiant person. Don't just start talking about your ideals and what you love to do without taking any action. First, take action. Let them see the changes in you. Be curious. Say, wow, things are getting so much better for you. You become more charismatic. When we go out together, we talk to more people thanks to you because you're so sociable. We get to hang out with girls if you're into that shit. I'm not, because again, religious. You got a good physique, you can play instruments and sing, you speak so many languages. That's so awesome. You build up your skill set and you start doing things that make you more desirable, that make you more cool, more wanted, right? We all want a feeling of importance. People now are asking you things. How did you do it? Now you have some leverage. They are coming to you. You say, this is what I did. I watched this guy, I read this book, I did these actions for this amount of time, and now these people that were supposedly like bad influences in your life, right, that you didn't want around anymore, you actually did want them, but you were just scared of them dragging you down, or you not being good enough of a leader. But now you've realized that you don't have to cut them off. I made a mistake with some friends, and some of them stuck around regardless, and I made sure to foster those relationships. I think I spoke about it in previous videos, and I try to encourage everybody to become better, to drop addictions, to lose weight, to look for a better career path, right? To do things that they love to do, to follow the things they love to do something with their life. Have some motion, have some action. Love the world, love life, love people, love yourself. You have the option to love or to dislike. Why would you put yourself through that misery? Anyway, I hope I was coherent, and I hope that if it ignited something in you, you go out now and you journal about it, you write it down, you think about what you're going to do next, and you take action immediately. Don't just wander about, skip to the next video, do whatever. Do something, and don't end up like Obito. End up like Naruto, that debayo. Try to be 1% better every day, and much love. Quick reminder to fix your posture and take deep breaths into your diaphragm from your nose.